Hello, welcome back. I'm Wesley, and I have another unique, odd, and interesting guitar to talk about today. Today we're going to talk about this 1966 Harmony H14V Bobkat. So these are made in the USA in Chicago, Illinois by the Harmony Guitar Company. So Harmony was one of those many catalog guitar companies that were real big in like the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Harmony made them for, Sears and Montgomery Ward, and they made them for music stores. If it was sold in a music store, you got a Harmony. If it was sold in Sears, it would say Silvertone. If it was sold in Montgomery Ward, it would say Airline. So each department store catalog company would have basically, the same guitar, but with some kind of different configurations. You could get, different pickup covers, different colors, different pickguard design, depending on where you bought it from. Harmony made entry-level instruments back in the day. So this would be like today's, Epiphone or Squire. It was like a jumping point. But it's obvious who Harmony was trying to steal some sales away from. Looks quite a bit like a offset body Fender Jaguar Jazzmaster look to it. And that's what they did. Harmony had a whole line of what they called the Silhouette Guitar Series, their version of the Jaguar Jazzmaster offset guitar body. And you could get, a lot of different models. This one is the H14, which would be the base model with one pickup. You can get a two pickup model. You can get, a stop tailpiece, vibrato. Then you could even get like one slightly larger. It's called the H19, which is the step above what you see Andy Clark playing. Andy Clark plays the H16, I believe. Hers is like a red sunburst with two pickups and a vibrato. The H19 was slightly larger. You got a pinned two-pneumatic style bridge, and you got a Hagstrom vibrato, which was really nice. It made this guitar, really woke it up a little bit. They were made out of, multi-piece bodies, probably pine. It's kind of what it looks like. And then you got like a maple cap on the front and on the back. The neck here, I'm not sure what the neck is made of. I'm assuming the neck is made out of maple, and the only reason I assume that is because the fretboard is maple. Yeah, that's correct. The fretboard is maple. It doesn't look like it, but Harmony, in an effort to save some money, they did what was called ebonizing. They took a maple fretboard and they stained it to look like a dark wood, like rosewood or ebony. And, it gets the look across. It kind of looks like a rosewood board. So that's, pretty interesting there. You also got a rosewood floating bridge here, which this one's actually pretty easy to get intonated. And with the vibrato, makes it super easy. You just drop it a little bit, shimmy it around until you get where you need to go. And then, what people really gravitate toward these guitars for, the reason, this right here, the Diamond Golden Tone pickup, or the gold foil pickups that everybody's always talking about. And what's crazy about the golden tone pickups is that they're very unique. Sometimes, they're all over the board. There's really not a lot of consistency with the output. This one comes out right around 4K. Some go as high as 10K. But I think it's a nice, vintage low output sound for these. When you crank it up, it gets real dirty. Sounds really cool. Also gets that really clean, chimey tones that you get from lipstick tubes. So, it's really, really cool when you go and mess with all that stuff. Now, this particular guitar, Harmony doesn't put a lot of serial numbers on things, so it's kind of hard to date some of these. So you've got to go and look at some of the components that they have. Being a low-end guitar, it does have some surprisingly decent quality electronics. So I ran the pot codes. These are both CTS pots, and the pot codes come out to about 1965. But then if I pop off a golden tone pickup, turn it over, we have a date of 1966. It's not unusual for, volume and tone pots to kind of sit around in the warehouse for a little bit. So, it's possible they sat in the little bin before they got picked up to use on this with this pickup in 66. So that's why I'm calling this one a 66 based on that. What's also weird about this is this has the larger body style of the H19. So if you got the smaller body style, this part right here is a little pointier, and you're a little shorter up here, and then also this is a smaller scale length. These have a 24-inch scale length, 24 and a half, if you measure it right. Yeah, so this is the slightly larger body, which is cool. Very comfortable feeling. I like it. And another downside to these things being entry-level guitars is, they were often purchased for kids learning how to play guitar, and, they weren't very well taken care of. There's not a lot of wear on, the fretboard itself. The frets are a little low, but plays great. I like how it feels. But most of the wear comes from, from a kid smashing it around. You got some minor chips in the finish around the edges. You got a lot right here, which, probably where they sat it down and leaned up against the wall or leaned up against the amp or something like that. But the chrome is in really great shape. The bridge is in good shape. The worst of it right here along the bottom. But other than that, looks pretty good. We got, a couple dings on the back. But other than that, it's really good shape. I had to make a new pick guard for this. One very common thing for these 60s Bobcats is they use really cheap plastic, probably like cellulose, something like that. So over time, these, it off-gasses and it kind of shrinks a little bit. So you often get cracks around here, cracks around here. I've even seen some so bad as like whole pieces will fall out, especially around the switches and around the pots and stuff. Whole pieces of pickguard just crack, snap, and just fall away. I assume that's what happened to this one because when I picked it up, the original pickguard was long gone, and somebody made a poor attempt at making a new one. Luckily, I was able to make this one. I could still see a bit of the fade around the edges where the original pickguard was, so I was able to trace that out and mill up this nice new pickguard. So this should hold up a lot better than the original cellulose ones would. And I was able to remount everything. I had to clean up the wiring a little bit, but the pots are in great shape. No cracking, no buzzing, nothing like that. Jack is good, and it sounds and it plays great. I can get nice low action on this. No bends in the neck. The neck is nice and flat and straight, no twists. Now, Harmony in the ads did say this was the ultra slim neck profile. It is not ultra slim. I love a fat neck, and I love this neck. I would say it's slightly thinner than like the Fender baseball bat neck. Probably, I would say this is close to like a 59 Gibson neck profile. But I love it. It's a little chunky, but it's not too chunky, but it fits really well in the hand if you got big hands. But overall, really good. You got open back tuners here. They spin, pretty smooth. Plastic end bits are, decent shape. They got a little bit of wear and stuff on them. The nut, while plastic, is still in good shape. And this one you got your golden tone pickup. You got a volume knob. You got a tone knob, and you've got a tone bypass switch. So in either position, it cuts the tone out. So one, it works. It does something. I don't know. I did replace this switch, not because the original switch was not working. It was, but the connectors were very loose, and I just, I want this thing to play great. So I just went ahead and switched that out. But the pots are still original. Pickup's still original. Vibrato's original. Bridge is original. Listen, the only two non-original things on this guitar are this switch and the pickguard. Everything else, original. Oh, I take that back. I did change out the straps. These came also with like some very, very cheap plastic strap buttons. And the one down here was smashed and long gone, probably, setting it down, playing it. And then this one was chipped, so I went ahead and put some nice metal ones in here using the existing holes. So, you've got yourself a nice, reliable player here. Another modification I made to it, these did not have grounded bridges, so you get a lot of buzz and crackling and squealing out of this. And that's not good if you want to gig with it. I mean, if you want to use it in a studio, you can control that, but it's a very nice modification. I had to drill a little hole from here to where this cavity is for the spring for the vibrato. Just took the ground wire, wrapped it around the spring here, soldered it to the pots, and it's a great ground, and it makes this a good playing guitar because these D-Armonds are known for being a bit noisy, and they're a little microphonic too, which I'll demonstrate later. But this really makes it a more giggable guitar. Other than that, I don't know what else I can keep saying about this thing. So I think it's about time we just go ahead and plug it in and hear how it sounds. Alright, first we're going to do a quick pot check to make sure there's not scratchy and they're working as they should. Here's the volume pot. No scratchiness. So that's working like it needs to. The tone pot. Oh wait, hold on. Gotta kick in the tone. No scratchiness. And then we're also good on the switch here. Nothing going on the switch. So that's good. Now let's go ahead and see how it sounds. I'll play a couple of songs that show how this vibrato works really well. And then we're going to go crazy. So here we go. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick out the tone circuit, make it a little muddier. So here we go. So there it is. The 1966 Harmony H14V Bobkat. You like how it sounds? Check the link in the description. Get a hold of me. Maybe we can work something out. Snatch it up before I fall in love with it, because the more I play it, the more I'm enjoying it. So yeah, get it away from me, quick.